Be honest. This morning, before you were really awake, your hand already had your phone. You didn't decide to reach for it. You just came to mid-scroll, and you couldn't say exactly when it started. Then you moved through the next 20 minutes on rails, the same order, the same motions, barely present for any of it. You were awake. But be honest, nobody was really driving. That wasn't laziness. That was design. When researchers tracked what people actually do all day, they found that around 43% of your behavior isn't a decision at all. It's a habit, a program running on autopilot, while the you think of as you takes the credit for the ride. Which raises the real question. If almost half your life is running on autopilot, who wrote the code? And can you rewrite it? Today we open the machine that runs your habits, the actual neuroscience, not the myths, and I'll show you how long it really takes to change and the exact method that rewrites the program. Starting with the biggest lie you've been told about habits. You've heard it 100 times. It takes 21 days to build a habit. Do something for 3 weeks and it sticks. It's on every blog, every fitness app, every motivational poster, and it's completely false. The 21-day number came from a plastic surgeon named Maxwell Maltz in 1960. He noticed his patients took about 21 days to stop feeling phantom sensations from an amputated limb or to get used to a new face after surgery. That's it. An observation about adjusting to surgery. It had nothing to do with building habits, but the number was clean, it was hopeful, and it spread like a virus for 60 years. Then in 2009, a researcher at University College London named Philippa Lally actually tested it. She tracked 96 real people building real habits day after day and measured when each one turned automatic. The real number? Not 21. On average, 66 days, and the spread was wild. For some it clicked in 18 days, for others it took 254, nearly a year. Sit with what that means for a second. Every time you started something, the gym, the diet, the journal, hit day 22, felt nothing click, and thought, I guess I'm just not disciplined. You weren't failing. You were somewhere around day 22 of 66. You quit at the exact point the myth told you it was over, and it had barely begun. That single lie has probably killed more of your habits than any lack of willpower ever did. To rewrite the code, you have to see it running. And the clearest picture came from a maze at MIT. Neuroscientist Anne Gray-Beal put rats in a T-shaped maze with chocolate at one end and wired them up to watch their brains as they learned. On the first runs, the rat's brain was blazing with activity. The whole thing lit up. It was thinking hard, evaluating every turn, every choice. Learning is expensive. The brain hates spending that much energy. But after hundreds of repetitions, something remarkable happened. The brain went quiet. Activity spiked at only 2 moments, the very start and the very end. Everything in between went dark. The brain had taken the whole maze, every turn, every choice, and crushed it into a single push of a button. And that's not a rat thing. That's the exact reason you can drive home from work and remember nothing about the drive. You didn't black out. Your brain just ran the drive home chunk while the conscious you was somewhere else entirely. That compression lives in an ancient, deep structure called the basal ganglia. And once a routine sinks in there, it runs almost completely without you. This is the habit loop, and it has 3 parts. First, a cue, a trigger that tells your brain which program to run. You wake up. Second, the routine, the automatic behavior itself. You reach for your phone. Third, the reward, the payoff that tells your brain, that felt good, run it again. A hit of novelty, a dopamine spike. Cue, routine, reward. Your alarm, your phone, the dopamine. Repeated so many times it sank from your conscious mind down into the machine. Here's why this matters, and why your New Year's resolution was dead by February. A brand new habit runs on the smart part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, right behind your forehead. It's clever, deliberate, and it gets you fired up on January 1st. But it has one fatal flaw. It runs on a battery. It drains all day. Every decision, every stress, Every should I or shouldn't I, until by 9 p.m., it's empty. That's not a character flaw. That's just the hardware. So picture the actual fight when you try to break a habit with willpower. On one side, that smart brain, exhausted, running on fumes by evening, which, surprise, is exactly when you reach for the snack, the phone, the cigarette. On the other side, a program burns so deep into your hardware, it barely uses any energy at all. It's a tired office worker versus a machine that never sleeps. Now you know why you lose at 9 p.m. every single time. You've been bringing the weakest part of your brain to fight the strongest, which is exactly why the method that actually works doesn't fight the loop at all. It hijacks it. Because habits don't get erased. Remember, a smoker who quit 20 years ago still feels the pull at the smell of smoke. The old wiring never fully disappears. You don't delete a habit, you replace it. And there's a golden rule the research points to. Keep the cue, keep the reward, and swap only the routine in the middle. Say every afternoon at 3, you feel a slump. That's the cue. You scroll your phone for 15 minutes, the routine, and you feel a small mental break, the reward. You don't actually crave the phone. You crave the break. So keep the 3 o'clock cue, keep the reward of a break, but swap the routine. Stand up and walk for 5 minutes instead. Same trigger, same payoff, new behavior. You're not fighting the loop. You're editing it. And you make that edit stick with 4 levers the science hands you. 1. Make the cue obvious. Want to read at night? Put the book on your pillow. The environment is a stronger trigger than your intentions. Put your cues in your path and hide the bad ones. 2. Make the routine small. Automaticity is built by repetition, not intensity. 1 push-up a day beats an hour at the gym because you'll actually repeat it. And repetition is what carves the groove. 3. Make the reward immediate. The loop is wired by dopamine, and dopamine responds to now, not to results you'll see in 6 months. Give yourself a small, instant win the moment you finish. A tick on a calendar, a genuine, that's done. 4. Use an if-then plan. If it's 7 a.m., then I put on my running shoes. Preloading the cue routine link takes the tired decision maker out of it entirely. And here's the permission the research gives you, the part that saves most people. Missing 1 day does not break the habit. Lally's study found a single missed repetition had no measurable effect on the trajectory. The people who succeed aren't the ones who never miss. They're the ones who never miss twice. So forget 30 days. Forget 21. The real timeline is, as long as it takes, averaging around 2 months, sometimes more, of showing up, keeping the cue, protecting the reward, and repeating a routine small enough that you actually do it. Every repetition carves the groove a little deeper, sinking the new program from your exhausted conscious mind into the effortless machine below, until one morning you do the thing and realize nobody had to decide. You are, quite literally, a collection of loops running on ancient hardware. Most people never see the code, but you can't rewrite what you can't see, and now you can see it. The machine was always editable. You just needed the manual. We've opened the machine in the bank, the machine in your spending, and now the machine in your habits. Subscribe, because the next machine is already open.